What up? What up? What up? It's your boy JB coming at y'all live and direct, and you know what it is. It's the Smoke Something, Drink Something podcast. I'm the Real Cigar Jeff, and you can find me on Instagram at the Real Cigar Jeff. You can find me on Facebook at the Smoke Something, Drink Something podcast. And if you watching this on YouTube, man, do me a favor. Go ahead and smash that like button, smash that subscribe button, and hit that bell to turn on notifications so you get notified when we drop a video. For all of y'all who watched the Placencia cigar review, man, we appreciate that. Man, we're going to be doing some more, but I just want to make sure I thank all the viewers for tuning into that. Y'all do me a favor, look below in the description, get the merch, support the channel. We got some new merch up there, man. I got some new merch coming too. Hopefully we can drop it by the Easter holiday so y'all can fly the colors of the Smoke Something, Drink Something podcast. And man, y'all know we got a banging topic tonight. I mean, man, I ain't gonna give y'all the topic yet because y'all know I gotta introduce my panel. And the Hometown Hookup Edition has been joined by a special guest, Tampa's local celebrity himself. Everybody knows him in every building he walks in. And don't tell me I'm lying because I done seen it for myself. I'm going to let him introduce himself. Tell y'all where y'all can find him at on Instagram. Tell him what he's sipping on tonight. And man, I just want to welcome him to the panel, but I'm going to turn over the floor right now to him.
What's going on, y'all? It's Big J the Barber, one and only. I'm over here sipping on my Tito's Mule.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. You can find me at Big J the Barber on Instagram, Facebook, everywhere else.
Hey, Jay, you going to tell them where they can find your shop at on Instagram too?
Oh, yeah. Razor's Edge Barbershop. Razors with a Z. R-A-Z-O-R-Z. Razor's Edge Barbershop, located in Tampa, Florida.
For everybody who watching this, man, I'm telling you right now, we got to give Jay that round of applause, man. Look, thanking him for coming on. Y'all know that I got my sounds working again. Jay, we appreciate you being on, man. Y'all got to understand, Jay, keep me crispy. I'm going to let y'all see that line still tight from Thursday. No enhancement, is my dog like to say. No enhancement. That line still tight. that line still tight. But man, we appreciate Jay coming on and joining the Hometown Hookup Edition. And man, unfortunately, y'all know we got to go from the highs to the low. Y'all know who I got next. It's my dog. It's my dog, the resident antagonist. Y'all love him because he always hating on me. I'm going to let him introduce himself. He fresh off a residential real estate showing, but he had time to come on the podcast, man. I'm going to let him introduce himself. Tell y'all what he's smoking on, what he's sipping on, and where y'all can find him at on Instagram.
What's going on, everybody? What's going on, Big J? Thanks for having me again tonight, JB, for some reason. You know, it's your boy, TLC. You can always find me on Instagram at TLClayton1. Tonight, I'm smoking on, this is a new one for me, the Oliva stick. So that's what I'm smoking on tonight. And I figured I'll just keep it going and switch it up again. So I'm trying this seasonal beer. It's a Samuel Adams
Cold Snap. Nice. Okay.
So,
hey, bro, you stepping your game up, dog. That's a good beer now. That's a good beer. Absolutely. Shout out Sam Adams, man. I'm gonna tag that when I post it. You know, normally they don't like us lames drinking their stuff, but we'll see if they repost it. TLC, hold that thing up in the camera. There you go. Yeah, that Cold Snap. That's a good brew. Get you tight too. Y'all know we got to give TLC his little. There you go. All right, that's good enough. All right, y'all know how we get down. Yeah, hey, look, man. Hey, when he stop hating, around here, get what you get. Man, y'all know who I got last, man. My A1 from day one. Don't need a whole lot of introduction, but I gotta always shout her out for being on the podcast, making time, finishing up her last few appointments to make sure she on the podcast with us, man. I'm gonna turn the floor over to you, Ron. I like that shirt too. Because you know, we team Biggie over here on this podcast. Now Jay from the West Coast, so might be a little bit different. Jay from LA, So, but Ron, I'm gonna go ahead and introduce yourself. Tell them what you drinking on and where they can find you on Instagram.
Thanks, JB. Welcome, Big J the Barber. TLC, you know what it is. Jeff, thanks for having me on the podcast once again. It's always a pleasure to be here with us having real people having real conversations. You guys can find me on Instagram at RMBLMBT. What I wanted to drink on tonight, I cannot drink on. So thank you, Big J, for having a mule, because that's what I want.
Rhonda can't open her ginger beer, y'all. She done lost a can opener. She can't open her ginger beer to make her a mule.
I was going to have an apple ready. So I'm going to just pour this over ice. And it's a pineapple mamita tequila pineapple.
Okay.
So I'm going to be bootleg and pour it in my cup that I had ready for.
Hell no. Jay, we get down a little different on the podcast. Man, Ron, we appreciate you. We appreciate you being on, Ron. We appreciate you being on. As always, man, you know the mutual respect. The mutual respect, Ron. I appreciate you being on. You know, I always got to give you that longest clap. You know, you always rolling with Team JB, so I appreciate that. But man, y'all know me. I'm smoking on this Padron and Portado that I had another one left over, man, when I bought them last time, and this thing is smooth. I'm sipping on this thing, man. And I just got my little margarita tonight. Cause I ain't want to get too deep in the trenches with my bourbon on this topic, because this topic is crazy. And guys, tonight's topic is overcoming being stabbed in the back. Overcoming being stabbed in the back. And y'all know, man, since Big J is the guest, you know, y'all know I got to do my round table. Big J, when I told you I was going to be doing this topic, man, what's the first thing that came to your mind, brother?
Oh, man. First thing that came to mind was the whole last week. Tell you that much. But you know, just it just brought back a whole bunch of things back to, you know, LA days, to moving to Tampa, and then also the people that I deal with in and out of the barbershop. But, you know, it's part of life.
Yeah. Okay. TLC, when you got the topic, what did you think?
A picture of you came into my mind for some reason. And I started thinking about the people closest to you that can stab you in your back.
Okay. All right, guys.
But after I thought about people closest to you that can stab you in your back, I kind of panned out a little bit. And I started looking at like larger institutions and systems. You know, whether it's, if you look at like the welfare system, everyone that pays taxes, people who are getting over on the welfare system, they're really getting over on you too. They stab you in the back. So if you look at like hackers on social media, person can copy your profile, they really stabbing you in the back.
Okay.
So I'm starting to notice like it's getting to the point where you can't even identify now in today's world half the people who are actually out to get you.
Yep. Okay. Like, so you saying it's happening directly and indirectly?
Absolutely.
Okay. All right. That's point taken. Rhonda, what did you think when you saw the topic?
I'm going straight directly. Ain't nothing like somebody stabbing you in the back. And if someone says they've never been stabbed in the back, they haven't lived long enough, or they not breathing. So when you first said that, though, I was like, wow, this is going to be a good one, because everybody has a story to tell. It's just how much of it you want to tell. Back to you, JB.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, you know, Ron, I wasn't expecting you to toss it back that fast to me, but I'm gonna tell y'all the reason why I put this podcast on, and the reason why I want this gonna be a little bit of a different approach, right? We're not gonna focus on the losers that done the stabbing in the back, right? What we gonna focus on this podcast today is, remember, the topic is overcoming it, right? The whole point is, right, one of my favorite scriptures in the Bible is, offenses gonna come, but woe unto who the offenses come through. You got to stop worrying about the person who stabbed you in the back, and you got to keep focusing on your vision, your purpose, and your plan. Too many people that we know done got off track because they got stabbed in the back, and now that person has ultimately won. So y'all know, man, just like I do on all podcasts, I took a couple notes that I want to bring up before the panel so we can talk on this thing, TLC. And you got to understand something, Jay. I got to let you know. Probably for the last 6 weeks, 7 weeks, TLC said, man, why Why you don't get your barber to come on? Why you don't get your barber to come on? If he would have known you were going to come on, I bet he would have really shown off tonight. So I'm glad I ain't telling.
I'm always prepared. When you're always ready, you don't have to get ready.
Well, I think it's is that it, TLC? Okay. But I want to do this with you guys, and kind of I want you guys to hear some thoughts that I just wrote down, and then we'll discuss as many as we can with the time frame that we have. Okay, stabbed in the back. Look at the orchestra director. The orchestra director is smart enough to know that if he is not watching those people in the band, they're not going to play the right note. He stands with his back. He stands with his back toward the audience, because who's the only people who can mess up his show? Those people in the band. He's moving forward. He's moving forward, but his back is turned. And one of the things, what makes a good DB is that he can run just as fast backwards as the wide receiver can run forward. And we don't understand. Sometimes we got to turn around depending on who the people in our life. We got to turn around and walk backwards so we keep an eye on them. Me and Jay were talking Thursday. Ain't no body armor for your back. That's why it's called stabbed in the back. Body armor for the front. So what happens is most people don't realize, think about the orchestra. He's always turned toward the people who can ruin the show. The audience is not going to ruin the show. The audience came to watch. Oftentimes we get taught to turn and look toward the audience instead of looking toward the people behind us. That's one thing, TLC. Second thing, in the military back in the day, and Jay, you can talk to this being retired military, the general is the last one to go into battle. The general ain't the first one. The general is last. So there's nobody to have his back. And we got to start looking at this as successful people. We got to stop looking for people to have our back, because we got our back. We smart enough to have our own. We got to stop putting certain expectations that somebody should have our back. That's where the disappointment comes from, is that we want people to have our back, and we don't necessarily need anybody to have our back. We just need people to do what they supposed to do, and everything works out. Jay talks about a lot of that on when I'm in the shop on Thursday. Just do what you're supposed to do, and nobody needs to have your back. All right? We're mad at the person who stabbed us in the back, but we should be mad about choosing the wrong people to walk behind us. We're mad about the person who stabbed us in the back, but we should be mad about choosing the wrong people to walk behind us. Stop having expectations of people and stop using the phrase, if it were me, I would want someone to do it for me. They are not you. Stop seeing the right thing in the wrong people. Only failures stab you. Only failures or only failed people stab you in the back, but they stab you for believing in them. I was the fool. They already knew they were a failure. I was the fool because they already knew it. I chose to see something different. You should only have people behind you who are trained in support roles. Robin don't stab you in the back. Robin, who think he's Batman, stabs you in the back. If people hang around you long enough, they think they are you, and they see you as an obstacle to their shine or their spotlight. Those are the things I kind of wrote down. I think Jay gonna like that last one. But again, Robin, who thinks they Batman, right? They hang around you long enough, and now they think they're you, and they start attacking you. So Jay, I'm coming back to you first, man. I just kind of laid those things out. Which one kind of stood out to you?
All of them did, really. It all makes sense. Every single one of them stood out. Over the whole topic of conversation is overcoming stabbing people in the back, right?
Yep.
So the first thing that we all go ahead and deal with, of course, is we find these individuals that we supposedly trust and allow them into our environment or our circle. And the problem is that we have higher expectations for these individuals that we know we shouldn't have. Because of course the expectations comes, and then with that being said, it follows with disappointment based on what we 9 times out of 10 we see the red flags, but we choose to go ahead and be like, okay, I'm a good person, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, okay, maybe in the past they dealt with someone or an individual that never gave them a chance or an opportunity to love on them. So I'm going to try and see if I could do things a little bit different, change the narrative, and love on them individuals a little bit better, so they can see, how the process worked on my end. 9 times out of 10, we get those individuals that they more cater to the people that hurt them more. Like I told you on Thursday, certain individuals prefer it's kind of like the syndrome of, oh, he only loves me if he hit me, you know? And it's kind of like one of those things like where individuals be like, oh man, he don't love me unless he hit me. And then the people who actually do not go that route, they feel like, oh my gosh, they're too nice. They're not for me.
And I gotta screw him over. And I gotta screw him over because I don't know how to treat him anyway.
Exactly. So, you know, when it comes to stabbing somebody in the back, is a part of betrayal. And we get angry. The part of that I've learned within this past week is that I got to try to overcome my anger towards the betrayal. You know what I mean? Because you know me, JB, the old Big J.
Oh yeah. You know, and y'all got to know something. Y'all got to know something, man, because y'all got to understand. For all the people who listening to this, who when they see Big J is on this podcast, y'all got to understand. Don't piss Jay off on a Wednesday or a Thursday before I get there, cause my neck can only take so much when he turning my head because y'all done pissed him off. And y'all don't understand. You don't want to have your hair cut by an angry barber because y'all done pissed him off, right? And normally, if I'm in there running my mouth,
don't blame the barber because you can't sit still.
He know I can't sit still. No. He know I can't sit still. But when these people piss him off because I'm in there running my mouth, normally he'll try to work with me. But boy, when y'all piss him off now, he ain't doing all that day, right? But again, I think you made a good point. I think you made a good point, Jay. TLC, when you hear what Jay had to say, man, or when you hear the list I made, tell me what you thinking.
I didn't really pay attention to your list. I heard somebody it was your fault. I agree with that. I do agree with Big J about trust,
of course,
and how you overcome backstabbers. You know, I think everybody in life adapts. Whatever happens to you, you kind of learn from it as you go. And for me, I think it's one of those things where I surround myself with people who, if they say they're going to do something, they do it. You know, sometimes you meet people and they'll volunteer to do something, and then you go back and check on it and it's still not done. Yep. And you're like, why did I even go to this person to begin with? So for me, it's about finding those people in my circle that, hey, if they say they're going to do something, they're going to do it. I don't even have to worry about it or think about it. I know it's done. So what me, just going through life, I progress that way.
So what you saying is the way you overcome it is trying to find people who are dependable, so you don't have to worry about them having your back and that kind of thing. Okay, Rhonda, what you got when you hear Big J and TLC talk about what they're saying?
I definitely like the point of trusting someone, but I don't want to dismiss the overcoming part. It's just like grieving something. You're going to go through those 7 stages of grief when somebody has betrayed you, right? Like, thank goodness you got your barber here on the call. Somebody that does your hair, you got to trust them like nobody's business. Well, they'll have you looking all jacked up, right? But I haven't seen that, so it's good that you have that relationship. Like with your barber, that's somebody that could really tear up your whole life. If you so trust is huge. And he always tell you looking right when we go on our trips. Okay, like okay, Jeff. Okay, I see. You know, he always tell you together. So
you know, I'm just a canvas. I'm just a canvas. Hey, I'm just a canvas.
Trust him to do that, and so it is something I agree with Big J when he says that. Like when you meet somebody, you see the red flags and you're like, okay, well, I'm going to show them something different because I'm not like the others. Never wanted to be like the others, and I'm just me. And so let me show them something good. And it's sad that when you get scared of being treated well, that you lose a good thing. But that's your business. But
it's so funny, Rhonda, because what we got to start realizing is a lot of people are wired backwards, right? And the way I overcome being stabbed in the back is I remind myself to put me first. The only time I've gotten stabbed in the back is when I put somebody else first, right? And they couldn't understand why I was putting them first, and they have no remorse for me putting them first because I shouldn't have done it in the first place. So what's the number one thing I do to overcome being stabbed in the back? I'm reminded to put Jeff first. Now, here's the funny thing. By me putting Jeff first, a lot of people going to win. But I don't confuse those people who are winning with walking behind me. Okay? Just because you winning in my environment don't mean you walking behind me. And I think a lot of times, and Jay and I talk about this, TLC, we talk about this, Ronald, we talk about this. People have forgot how to do the simple stuff. So when I realize that people don't know how to do simple, that becomes a directive for me. that doesn't become a let's build a relationship and I can help grow you. And I think one of the things that has happened is we were all raised to try to do something better for the less fortunate or give people a chance and all this kind of stuff. Well, it only works when the person comes to you and they have proven themselves first, right? I don't do the fraternity thing no more. But what's the first thing you got to do to get in a fraternity? Right? Before you go out in the military, you got to go through basic training. Before you become a member of that fraternity, you got to go through the intake process. Before you become a teacher, you got to go to college. Before you become a plumber, you got to be an apprentice. We don't treat our relationships that way. And we just got people jumping the line. And that was one of the things I realized I was doing. I was just letting people jump the line. Jay and I sitting here on this podcast right now. Jay started cutting my hair in 2005. Now we go to lunch every Thursday, right? And Rhonda on this line, because guess who get a call after I leave lunch, right? And first thing Rhonda say, you and Jay finished, right? You and Jay finished? Okay, cool, right? Because they know the routine. Now, it's not about me having Jay's back or Jay having my back. You got two like-minded people who appreciate and respect two professionals who are working toward goals. And so the reason you've been stabbed in the back is you forgot about your goals and you try to help somebody else reach theirs who have none. Jay, jump in there, man. Let me know what you're thinking after you kind of heard the round robin discussion.
No, absolutely right. You're absolutely right. Everybody's on point with the same, I guess, train of thought, because I mean, all of us have a different story and different ways that we got stabbed in the back. So it's just the approach. It's just the approach. All of us approach things a little differently, and I have to just understand and learn on how to see these things before it happens. You know what I mean? Just like you said with training, I got to train myself on how to see these things before it happens. And normally 9 times out of 10 I do, but it's just the opportunity that I'm trying to give someone else in order to learn from their mistakes and then try and do better by just coaching them a little differently. You know what I mean? Me and you had a conversation Thursday. You was like, you know what? You've been stabbed in the back so many times by giving these people opportunity that it's starting to bring back the old Big J and the old Big J's train of thought. You remember the conversation we had?
Yep.
And I'm like, you know what? You're right. Because, everybody used to say Big J is a robot. He's not even human, because it just came to the point where I was just, for one, I'm a Libra, so I either like you or I don't. There's no middle area. But it's just trying to find common ground with individuals who don't have the same perception that you do. And so when that happens, in a way, it's like we feel like we get stabbed in the back. But really, is it? Because we already knew it was a possibility based on the individuals that we choose to hire or be around. You already know, JB, my circle of friends is real tight. Yeah, there's a lot of people who know me and things like that. But at the same time, I'm real particular with when I come with someone that I, per se, go out with for lunch or invite into my house or around my kids and things like that. Because of the amount of people who choose to act different towards certain situations.
Yeah. And I think one of the things, guys, in TLC, before I let you jump in there, is that when we talk about overcoming being stabbed in the back, I like what you said, Jay. We already knew the possibility. But what we want to do, we looking for that needle in the haystack, right? We trying to look for that needle in the haystack instead of changing the haystack we looking at, right? And we got to stop. One of the things that we do, the way you overcome it is you got to look for people who have proven themselves in other areas. Like one of the things when people want to get next to me, one of the questions I ask them is, tell me about a time you succeeded and it involved others. Right? That's the first question I ask. Tell me about a time you succeeded and it involved others. Tell me about a time you worked on a team and tell me what part you did to take the project over the top. Right? Because at the end of the day, right, we all collaborating in this thing. The problem is the difference between the haves and the have-nots, guys. The have-nots are competing. The haves are collaborating. Okay? And that's why you can see Jeff Bezos and Warren Buffett sit down in the same room and don't walk out fighting. They walk out doing business together. But one of the things you guys are going to find, and in TLC, I want to get your point on this. How do you overcome being stabbed in the back? First thing you got to do is you got to prevent it by choosing the right people. How do you choose the right people? You got to look at their results and stop looking at what you want to see. Okay? What I want to see in people is so different than what they are. And I had to learn to accept that, right? What I want to see in you versus what you are, if that gap is too large, you just got to let them go. TLC, when I make that statement, what do you think when you hear me say that?
I do think, I don't know, maybe the way we were raised, you try to find the good in people. So you don't go into a new relationship looking for the bad intentions. You just hope for the best and hope that it's going to
Or you go
work
in looking
out.
for Russell Wilson instead of looking for Future.
Hey, hey, it's a life choice, you know. What can you live with yourself with? So,
Yeah.
you know, Russell Wilson has his own beliefs or
Yes.
whatever, and Future has his own beliefs. So you have to wake up every morning and live to yourself, your own abilities. So I was talking to a friend this week, and he was saying, you know, outside of work, he doesn't have a lot of friends. He doesn't hang around with a lot of people. And that's how he overcomes backstabbers. He doesn't have too many people around him. But I was like, that's not really me. I guess that's not my personality. I wouldn't say a lot of friends, but there's a lot of people I know. There's a lot of people I interact with. I do keep my circle small, but for me and my lifestyle, I'm just a sociable person. I love talking to people and meeting people. So that's not really an option for me. I do have to put myself out there to a certain extent. You know what I'm saying?
But I think TLC, before we move on to you, Rhonda, I think we got to start recognizing is if misery loves company, success is an island. Okay, we got to remember that. And this is why so many people choose to be average or choose to be a failure. Notice I said choose to be average or choose to be a failure. You look at some of these people, they're fine with being a failure, right? So misery loves company, success is an island. I said this in the shop probably a couple weeks ago. There's a lot of chickens walking around in Ybor City if you ever come to Tampa. A lot of chickens, roosters, hens, a lot of chickens. That's one of the things about coming to the city of Tampa. If you come to Ybor, you'll see it. Well,
you drive around with hot sauce
and 2 eggs, and 2 eggs, TLC, and a biscuit, right? But my perspective to you is, TLC, the chickens walking around Ybor is normal. Now, what if all of a sudden you saw an eagle walking around down there? Now, you don't ask what's wrong with the chicken. You ask what's wrong with the eagle, because the eagle shouldn't be walking around with chickens. So I'm saying, TLC, that you're a sociable guy, but one of the things I had to learn is that the more successful I wanted to be, the more isolated I was going to have to be. Because stabbing in the back means 2 things. Either you're already successful and they can see it, or they can see your success and you can't, and they got to stop you. And that the worst ones are the second one I said. Because you thinking, man, I'm just working. I'm trying to build up. I want to bring people along with me because that's what I got taught to do. Well, this person has seen your end from the beginning. And this person is like, man, let me destroy this person. Let me destroy this person. And I think one of the things you got, TLC, is you're going to find that the bigger you get in life, your stand-up comedy stuff take off, the first thing you got to do is you're going to be like, man, I can't bring everybody with me. Right? Lamar Jackson.
I realize
Well,
that.
but think about it, right? And you ain't even at the level you want to be. Think about it. Lamar Jackson has his mama negotiating with him because he don't want to be stabbed in the back. He done been stabbed in the back too much. He got his mama negotiating for him. Now it ain't working, but
I was about to say, just because you got your
it ain't
family,
working.
don't mean,
It ain't working. But look, why is he doing it?
as you said, sometimes families.
Oh yeah,
stab
we
you in
ain't
the
got to
back,
that point yet. We ain't got to that point yet. Rhonda, jump in there. Let me know what you think.
Just listening to you guys, it is the safe choice is to isolate yourself, right? Like to make sure who you have around you is small, tight crew. Because that's safe. But you also know when it's time for you to grow and make moves that you got to put yourself out there and be vulnerable to whatever is out there for your next level. So it's just like whenever you come to town and we have our shenanigans going on, like throwing it up. Right?
Yes, I appreciate you describing it like that.
I always put out there to the people I invite, like, okay, now, don't mess with my brother. This is how you get cut off. He got a lot to lose. I ain't saying I don't, but I know he got way more to lose than I do, because I want to make sure I don't bring mess to you. Right? You and my mama and my grandma, probably the only people that I'm like, okay, when it comes to family, but everybody else, man, they can go kick rocks. So you gotta set healthy boundaries when it comes to dealing with people. Even if you do want to give them an opportunity to show themselves or for you to show them something different. Sometimes we just don't have the capacity for people, man, and that's okay. And if they are not moving fast enough, it's not your fault. They just have to be ready. What's the slogan? When the student is ready, the teacher will appear. So I'm like, but I do know we're here to witness each other's lives. Like you have to have somebody in your corner And those people shift and they change based on what level you are in your life. Back to you, JB.
But Rhonda, I got to say this to you though. The problem is, and all four of us on this podcast, and again, I appreciate y'all being here. One of the things I always say is I don't ever take my cape off. I'm Superman all the time, because people don't screw over Superman; they screw over Clark Kent, right? And one of the things we do, the reason why we get stabbed in the back, we lead personally, and then when things go bad, we try to make it about business instead of earning it through business first. And then if it works out personally, right? And again, Jay been cutting my hair since 2005. Well, years ago when I came in and said I wanted a mohawk, he said, you ain't getting it, and started cutting my hair like this again, right? It wasn't no conversation, but it didn't happen in 2005. It happened down the road. Why did he say it? Man, you're a businessman. I can't have you looking like that. You're a businessman, right? Now, if you were in another industry or something like that, that's different. You're a businessman. You can't be looking like that. But that came because he did his business first. How you overcome being stabbed in the back, always lead with business. Always lead with business. And if they respond to business, that's what should allow you to, like Jay said, man, I'll let you come into my house at that point. We'll go out to lunch at that point. When I see that you take business serious, now I know you'll take me serious. But if you don't take business serious, that let me know you have no boundaries. And that goes into something I know, TLC just brought up about family. I'm going to have Jay jump in here. One of the biggest enemies, one of the reasons you getting stabbed in the back by people is because of the family and friends they associate with telling them to destroy you, telling them don't listen, they tell them not to listen to you because you actually giving them sound advice, business advice. You don't want them sitting around home struggling, wondering, where their next meal going to come from. So it's funny that how you overcome being stabbed in the back. Ask that person who's in their life now, and what do those people do? Because if those people are losers, they going to start encouraging that person to backstab you. Jump in there, Jay. Let me know what you think when you hear me say that. I know you got something to say about that
one. It just comes to the point where, again, when it comes to the family thing, with family, I already cut them off anyways. Because the saying goes, we don't get to pick our family, but we're able to choose our friends and the people that we surround ourselves with. So when you grow up around some certain family members, the real deal Holyfield when it comes to them, because you've been around them for quite some time. So when a family member is going to change, or when they don't want to change, or when you go ahead and give a family member your all and you receive nothing else but their rear end, then for a fact that it's always going to be that way, especially when you get to become an adult. So with family members is when it comes to me and you had this conversation, I cut them off quick. Because all they're going to do is just drag you down. Now, here's the opposite thing. Now, when you choose to get married and you want to deal with your spouse's family, that's the different story, because now you want to give them the benefit of the doubt because you don't really know them too much. Do all you can possibly do, because now you're trying to entertain someone that doesn't know you. Let them understand that you're a good person, being with their either sister or daughter, whomever it should be. You know what I mean?
Cousin.
And then you go and uplift those people. Try to make sure that you put them in the right position in order to earn and learn. But then they go about saying that, well, you guys are moving a little too swift in the right direction, and they're still staying stagnant. Well, I wonder what you're doing in comparison to what we're doing. And then as soon as you continue to move, and they still back there, now all of a sudden they want to hate on you based on their situation and the things that they choose not to want to do. So I had to teach my wife, listen, I understand that's your family, but sometimes you're just going to have to cut them off, because all they're going to do is continue to tear at you until you don't even want to partake in your goals, like you said earlier, to the point where you no longer want to do things that you're actually envisioning doing, and now you're trying to cater to some people that want to keep you back, and all that's going to do is just be detrimental to your growth.
And I think it's funny, guys, that what Jay says, TLC, before I let you jump in there, every stab in the back ain't fatal. Some stabs are paper cuts, right? And some of them are just nagging, and that nagging stops you. That nagging slows you down. That nagging makes you question where you going. Okay. Again, guys, if I multiply positive number times a negative number, the number going to always be negative, right? No matter how hard you try. So I'm glad Jay said that. If y'all want to listen to our podcast on Family First Equals You Last, It's on. Scroll through the podcast episodes. We went to town on that one. We went to town on that one so much that TLC called me after that and said, "Jeff, man, you and Rhonda were right." Okay, TLC tried to go the opposite right. Jay.
I was wrong.
He was wrong on that one. TLC is there, but I think what happens is, guys, let's be honest. What Jay said is big, and TLC, I want you to jump in there. Every stab in the back ain't enough to make you walk away. Some of them are inconvenient. Some of them are nagging. Some of them are disruptive, but you think it's in the name of love, in the name of tradition, in the name of family, relationships of work. Oh, we got to stick through. Blood is thicker than water. Blah, 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 blah. And that's why when Jesus said, my family are those that do the will of my Father, not the ones who got the same blood running through our veins. And I had to learn that, because if we got the same Father, it don't matter the blood running in our veins. What matters is we subscribing to the same system. Mm-hmm. And so one of the things that make me get along with a lot of people is, if you're about business, we can get along. If you're about that bull, we can't get along. And so what happens is, guys, I ain't trying to lose what I worked for. But a lot of people, the stabs in the back are because they trying to make you emotional. When they see that you're purely logical and working towards something, the goal is to make you emotional. Always calling you, telling you somebody's sick. Calling you, telling you somebody dead. Calling you, telling you somebody asked about you. Calling you, letting you know your ex-girlfriend and got pregnant. All this kind of stuff. Those are little stabs in the back, right? Such and such asked about you. All those little stabs in the back. That's what they are, guys, because people can see where you're going, even though you may not see where you're going. TLC, jump in and let me know what you're thinking, brother.
When Big J mentioned,
so nothing I said mattered. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, I don't even pay attention. What came to my mind was that you can't always get around the people, get away from the people that are stabbing you in the back. Was the thing that popped to my mind, and I was thinking that life is the greatest teacher. I think is the Chinese proverb or something. Sometimes you just got to learn that, okay, I might have to still interact with this person. I still might have to be around this person. That doesn't mean I have to tell them everything. Mm-hmm. I might have to leave this section of my life out. I can't talk to them about this.
Treat them
and just leave them.
I treat them like a client.
Isolated.
Treat them like a client. The best part about the client doesn't want that relationship with you, right, TLC? So what I tried to give you, you don't value, right? So some people just want to come in, pay you your money. They don't want a relationship with you. Mm-hmm. So the one thing I've learned is I got relationships that are arm's length, and I got some relationships that are closer than arm's length. But once a person shows me they should be arm's length, I'm fine with that, because now I know how to deal with them, right? I don't text them. I don't pick up their phone call, right? I email them. Because you're not going to screw me over when there's a paper trail, right? You ain't gonna screw me over when there's a paper trail. And I think, TLC, you said something, Jay, you said it as well. But we got to just start showing these people why we in the position we're in is because we choose business more times than not. Why? Because every time we chose personal, we lose. The 4 people on this podcast, when we choose to override our logic, we lose big time. That's the reason why the 4 of us, y'all ain't never met Jay. Jay ain't never met y'all, right? But the reason we can be on this podcast, and I see all y'all shaking your head up and down, ain't nobody yet did this. No, Jeff, no, Jeff, no. Well, everybody been going through the same stuff, because when where you overcome being stabbed in the back is you don't operate emotionally. And when we start overriding what our eyes are saying, when we start overriding the results and overriding what our eyes are seeing, that's when they say, oh, good, he didn't turn to walk forward instead of walking backwards, keeping an eye on me the whole time. And that's what a lot of people don't get. When you having a baby, when you're teaching a baby how to walk, you hold both of the hands, you're walking backwards. They're watching you. You don't turn around and have a baby walk behind you. A baby either walks beside you or you're walking and they're walking with you. The baby never gets behind you, because what's going to happen when you let a baby, if you ain't watching a baby at all times, they going to get into.
Are you talking about a baby, the rabbit?
No, I'm talking about that. I'm talking about an infant. I guess I should say that. TLC with his little lame joke right there. That little lame joke. I've been waiting to use it. Rhonda, jump in there. Let me know what you think.
No, yeah, we are gonna agree a lot on this particular call. I love saying keep the main thing the main thing. Every time I don't keep it the main thing, for whatever reason, it never turns out great. But ever
Mm-hmm.
since I've been doing business, um, and just being upfront with people about where things are, either you rock with it or you go another place. Either way, I'm okay. Everyone that leaves is not
Mm-hmm.
a loss. That's what I've
That's
learned
it.
about overcoming betrayal. So if you're supposed to be here, you will be here. If not, that's okay too. But you're gonna miss it. You're gonna miss it.
And guess what, Rhonda? And guess what? You
You
can't
can't come.
come back. Like that's your best. I love when I fire somebody. I love when somebody quit and they try to show their ass. Yeah, man,
Yeah.
just don't come back, right? Because you don't understand. I was propping
Yeah.
you up. Everybody, if I'm propping you up and I know you gonna dip out on me, boy, I can't wait to see the downward spiral. Because one of the things I've learned about successful people is when you leave, they close the door. When you leave, they burn the bridge. Successful people know that if I've given you an opportunity that nobody else would, by the way, all the people who stabbed us in our back, everybody else was smart enough not to do
Yeah.
anything for
See
them.
why why.
Now they got us.
Yeah.
Now they got us looking like a fool, right? Now they got us looking like a fool. And the problem was they sitting down like, man, this dude Jeff is an idiot. I can't believe he falling for this. Like, why does he see this in me? And the reason that is because traditionally I got taught the wrong thing. And that's why I said you get taught to do the right thing, but you do it for the wrong people. You do it for the wrong people. And I'm just good at choosing the wrong people. I'm not good at choosing the right people. And how do you know they're the right people? The right people call you to build you up too. The right people call you to say, hey, man, look, I'm one step ahead of you. If Jay come into a shop, hey, man, I done already done this, and this, because I know how you're going to want it, man. Let's make this money today. Right? Like when you choose the right people, it's not work. And so there's a lot of people that I talk to. I got to limit my time talking to them because it becomes work just to deal with them. And you don't fight no battles where there's no spoils to be won. And a lot of times these people that are stabbing us in the back, we don't have nothing to benefit, even if they get it all right. even if they get it all right, it does not benefit us. What did Kanye say? And when he get old, he gonna leave your ass for a white girl, right? The moment they get a taste of what you gonna put in them, they leaving you. Mm-hmm. They leaving you. That's why I had to start focusing on me first. I was at the dealership, had to get my tire replaced on my car. Guy said, Jeff, man, why your car so dirty, man? He said, man, look, I do a mobile cleaning business, man. Man, let's keep this vet clean. That's what he said. He said, here's what he said to me. You ain't got no assistant keeping this car clean. That's what he said to me, right? I'm sitting here like, I can barely afford a car. What you talking about getting? What you talking about getting an assistant, right? But what did I tell you? The people who are not emotionally attached to you, the people who do business with you, that you just go and give them their check, they provide the service, they can tell you different. They want to do more business with you. They want to figure out ways they can serve you. They want to figure out ways they can open up your calendar so you can do more. And they know, I want to connect with this person. See, I'm not even thinking about him like he's thinking about me, because I've been trained to go look for the downtrodden, to go look for the worst in the community, people who've been left behind. But there's a reason they've been left behind. Their mama left them behind. Their daddy left them behind. Their teachers left them behind. Everybody in their life left them behind. It's not my job, guys. It's not my job. I remember somebody said to me, we all God's creation, but we ain't all God's children. I'm only letting people get next to me who are God's children, not God's creation. Jay, jump in there. Let me know what you're thinking, brother.
Man, I mean, we kind of said it all, to be honest. It's just one of those things where, you know, I just gotta. I'll speak about it for myself. Like, you know, anytime we get to that point where we feel betrayed or stabbed in the back, we automatically go to this fight or flight mode. And so it's just one of those things where, you know, I have to just learn from the experience, figure out how to overcome the experience. So the next time that if it's something I didn't go through, make
but
sure.
Jay, you already overcame it, bro. Yeah. See, that's the whole. You done already overcame it. This is the reason why they leave is because they weren't successful. Yeah. You done already overcame it. Ain't nothing changed for you, But now, just like what did they say? What did they say on the movie? Right? I can't remember the movie, but it said, it was on the movie Get Up with James Brown. Right? When James Brown fired the whole band on the movie Get Up. Right? That dude said he used to be, when he fired Maceo, right? He fired Maceo. He said he used to be the baddest drummer in the land because he was with James Brown. And he said now he just standing outside in the cold with his heart beating fast. And I said, oh my God, right? Because like
Maceo plays.
Well, whoever it was, the drummer, Maceo, it might have been a saxophone, all that kind of stuff. But you get the point I'm trying to make, right? Oh, that man said now he just standing outside with his heart beating fast. He don't know what to do. Yep. See, Jay, you done already overcame. The people who done left you, Jay, they standing outside with their heart beating fast.
Well, they one person I tell you, I fired them. They ain't leaving.
But see, right? You kicked them to the curb, right? You kicked them to the curb. But that's the best part about it. The number one thing, guys, a fruit tree cannot produce fruit until you cut back the branches. If you don't see a person producing fruit, cut back the branch, and all of a sudden the fruit gonna pop out. But Jaden already overcame. But you see how we get taught though? We're always in the process of building. We're never in the process of being built. Mm-hmm. Right? So we're completed products. That's why they found us. That's why they found us, guys. You complete. You at the top of your profession. You doing things they can't do by themselves. That's why they found you. And again, guys, we won't know about fleas and ticks unless there were dogs. Why? Because every parasite need a host. And you better learn, TLC, that every parasite needs a host. And a lot of people coming in our life, the dog don't stop being a dog because fleas and ticks are on them. Yeah. Right? We got to remember that. But here's how does the dog let you know he got fleas and ticks, right? Man, let me start licking so my owner can start doing something about this. But it ain't the dog's job to get the fleas and ticks off of him. That's his owner's job. Right? And that's what a lot of people don't get. TLC, jump in and let me know what you're thinking.
You had some of your analogies.
I know, I'm killing you with it, TLC. I had to see. I knew Jay was coming on. I was ready. I show off in front of company.
The movies. I don't know where we're going. But yeah, man, overcoming backstabbers. I think it's about segmenting what you share with other people. I think is my way of overcoming it, at least. You can't tell everything to everybody.
But TLC, I got to jump on you right there. There's only one place you should share everything with, and that's in your mirror. Because you ain't gonna wake up and screw yourself, bruh. I'm telling you right now. Use that mirror is there for a reason, right? That mirror is there for a reason. I have staff meetings with myself all the time because I work for a lunatic. Who's the lunatic? Me, right? I have staff meetings every day in my mirror talking to myself. Why? Because when you reveal what you're going to do, you better know for a fact that this person ain't working for your ops, spiritually or naturally. Rhonda, what do you think when you hear me say that?
Oh, of course. I'm all about the energy of stuff. That's how I determine which clients I keep on my massage table. Because everybody don't deserve to be up there. But I know I deserve to be surrounded by good people. Right? Yeah. Can I massage everybody? Yeah. But I'm not for everybody. And I don't want to be. Right? So overcoming betrayal, you got to know who you are and whose you are so that when those things come up, because it's going to happen. Like you said, offenses will come. But at the end of the day, you got to know who you are. And that your space is just as important as anybody else's. But also, too, just letting people know where you stand so you know who you need to, I was about to curse, to engage. Like, who you need to.
We on YouTube now. Right? We on YouTube. We came up a little bit. I got 12 subscribers. We blowing up. We on our way to 100,000.
You don't have to be.
We on 100,000. We on our way to 100,000.
We coming, right? We coming.
We coming, like Dion say, we coming. Around. I got 12, only 999,900 and what? 88 left to go. Let's get it. Let's get it.
If you know who you are, man, I don't care if you have to change careers. I don't care if you have to change certain stuff in your personal life. If you know who you are, and you know what you believe in, and you're not crazy, like you are living in reality. But you made to move through this world how you want to. But those paper cuts can hurt like a mug, though. Like you keep getting a bunch of paper cuts. That stuff does turn into one big old scar. And so, but it also, as the Bible says, iron sharpens iron. So you just hope that those paper cuts are coming from people that want you to grow instead of people that stab you in the back.
And it's good that you said that, Rhonda, because I want to say this to you guys. I had to learn, let success be your best revenge. Anybody who's working against you, when you find out, you commit to being successful even more. Okay. Like, I know what I'm working toward. I took a step from my goals and my visions just to help you. So I need to just go back, put that time back in my calendar to refocus on my success and my goals. Because how much did I lose out on trying to help you and I got screwed over? And a lot of people, guys, want to get you off track. There's people who are in your life that are designed to get you off track. You can't get them out of your life. The system you choose to subscribe to is what allows people to be attracted to you, the right people to be attracted to you, and the wrong people will leave. Right? Let's be honest. Everybody wasn't trying to come see Jesus. There were some people trying to kill him. Right? Like you got to understand, with the blessing comes the persecution. So I ain't trying to tell people, when you don't hear me telling people I'm going to cut them off, I'm going to use them to my advantage. I'm going to let them help my focus. And when they leave, my reward is my success. Right? Because I already knew what was going to happen. I was propping you up anyway. If you break your foot, the doctor puts you in a walking boot. Go ahead and take the walking boot off, see what happens. Your ass tipping right over. Right? They already know it. Let success be your best revenge. Jay, when you hear me say let success be your best revenge, what comes to your mind?
Oh yeah. Keep it pushing. You know, at the end of the day, you already know where you was gonna go. You know the plan, you know the goals, you know you have the light at the end of the tunnel. Prime example in my business, you said it right. You know, sometimes I kind of come to a pause when I try to help somebody else build their stuff up, build their brand up. You know what I mean? Help them better with their haircuts. Try to make sure that the customer service is on point. But everything that I do based on that for somebody else, it puts everything that I have going on pause. Not only that, it puts business on pause. It puts the family life on pause. It puts the kids' life on pause, because I'm so tuned in to try and help this individual grow so they can see the growth in themselves. Now, what I need to stop doing is doing that. You know what I mean? I'm saying, okay, I'll go ahead and hire you, let you come on board. Oh, this is what you can do when they interview, because everybody talk to you blue in the face talking about what they could do. Oh, yeah, I'm this type of barber. I'm that type of person. I'm this, blah, 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 blah. Okay, that's what's up. Well, let me go ahead and make sure that you do that then. So what I need,
people lie doing interviews.
Oh yeah, I know.
You do it. You do it on every one, TLC. I don't know how you got this far.
So with that being said, I just got to let them just be their true selves. Eventually it's going to come out. So instead of me being so concerned about what they got going on in their business life and all the things that they said they're going to be and how they're going to be and how they're going to operate inside my business. Okay, well, the truth is going to come out eventually. So let me continue to do what I'm doing on my side of my chair and my side of my business. Yes. Make sure everybody that comes through those doors are 100% excited to be there, have the best customer service they possibly could have, and also have the best haircuts walking out, because at the end of the day, they're all walking billboards. Mm-hmm. I can't be worrying about somebody else that don't see the vision. As soon as you don't see the vision, absolutely, I'm not going to go ahead and let it marinate. I'm just going to cut your ass and keep it moving.
I need that mute button. Rhonda and Jay going through the same stuff, boy. They love cutting people off. TLC, what you think when you hear Jay say that?
Oh man, I mean it's on point. What he said is true. It kind of touches back on what Rhonda said about. She said something about addition by subtraction, and sometimes that's life. The people you move out of your life don't really take away from your life. Sometimes you come out further ahead by removing certain people from your life.
But TLC, you know why though? Because we got taught traditionally wrong. You are meant to be your own reflection, right? We keep looking for somebody else to complete us when we're already complete. I want somebody I can talk to. No, talk to yourself, right? I want somebody I can go out with. No, go sit and eat dinner by yourself. Because if you can enjoy you, these people can't stab you in the back. Like this is the number one thing I had to learn. If you can enjoy you, if you talk to yourself, I love having my car that got 2 seats in it. Don't nobody ask you for a ride, right? Don't nobody ask you for a ride when you got a 2-seater. Man, Jeff, I just follow you, right? Don't nobody ask you for a ride. And what do they say? There's a reason why the Bugatti has 2 seats and the bus got 50, right? And you look at who can afford the Bugatti and who rides the bus, right? Now, there's nothing wrong with riding the bus if it's your choice. But if you get on the bus and call the guy in the Bugatti stupid, now you got a problem. The guy in the Bugatti ain't calling you stupid for being on the bus. The guy in the Bugatti is sitting here saying, one day they're going to get one of these cars. Because the most successful people want to see the best happen for everybody. It's these losers that we trying to help that's hating on everybody. They go home. They got loser people all around them. And if you listen to this and you one of those loser people, or you one of those people who got loser people around you, you know who you are. Right? When you go home and you sit in that driveway for 30 minutes because you don't want to walk in. Man, you need to start focusing on you, brother. Because if you sitting out there in your car, and Jay tell me this all the time, and Ron, I want to go in there. Jay said all the time, man, 2 type of men. One that run their house and one that run around their house. Bro, that thing. And look, I would shout out to Country Wayne. Shout out to Country Wayne. I was watching one of the Country Wayne videos today. The girl he dating, her mama tried to check him. He said, look, man, I'm a comedian. 2 things I do. I run my mouth and I run my house. You can get out of here talking like that. That's what he told to the girl's mama. I run my mouth and I run my house. You can get out of my house talking like that. And all I can see was Jay saying 2 type of men. I'll never forget when he said it. But one of the things that happens is we don't understand that we got the people with the most talent are running around their house. The people with the least amount of talent are running the house. And that's one of the biggest problems we got. They running the business. They're influencing. That's why we got it backwards. It used to be the talented 10th. The talented 10th was directing the steps of the 90. Well, now the 90 are directing the steps of the 10th. Rhonda, jump in there. Let me know what you think.
Well, of course, as I would hope as a man, you are running your house. I would hope as a man.
Y'all hurry up. I got to go. I'm just messing with y'all.
That was a very true statement. Very true. At the end of the day, everybody has their role to play. Everybody has their position. And if you don't fall in line, man, then you need to get out the way. Just get out the way. And
but see, Rhonda, hold on.
But move.
But Rhonda, here's the deal. Or I'm just going to run over you now. I've asked you to get out of the way. Now I'm going to just run over you. Because I got to stay focused on my goals. Right? I'm going to just run over you.
Good run over. Like, just go ahead on. But,
yeah. And guys, I think that's what we got to do. Rhonda, I like what you said. Get out of the way. I'm giving you a chance to get out of the way. But now if you don't get out of the way.
With his song, Move. I was really
get out the way. Right? See, I ain't got no fancy buttons to put that in the video. So one day though, once I get up to 30 subscribers, I might be able to do that. But right now we on our way to 100,000 TLC. We're on our way to 100,000. Man, look, I gotta tell y'all guys, I think we didn't put up some good points tonight. You know, y'all gotta understand, for all my listeners, TLC done told me not to go over an hour. So we getting close to that point. But man, I think we gave y'all some good points on how to overcome betrayal, how it affects you, you know, how you going to move, how you need to move differently, proactively. And, you know, one of the things we do a lot is we always react into stuff. And the proactive thing is the route we need to go. Big J, tell me what's your takeaway from today's podcast. Give me a 10, 15 second takeaway.
Oh man, takeaway is, you know, everybody in life is just for seasons. You just got to choose wisely. And as soon as you see a cancer, which is AKA a red flag, as soon as you see a cancer, don't let it marinate. Get them out of there.
Absolutely. TLC, what's your takeaway?
Well, first I'd like to say this Samuel Adams was
that's a good beer. It's a good beer.
That was a good beer, I must say. But my takeaway for tonight is that you really can't focus on it too much. It'll just bring your life down. You got to move on. So put on the OJs.
Not the OJs.
Meditate for a minute. and then move on.
All right, Rhonda, what's your
I
takeaway?
think for me, it's more about checking for the signs of betrayal that's about to come. So just know when conversations get shorter with you, they're getting longer with someone else. And so that's the sign to know that
Yep.
Ooh, I
that
like
betrayal probably is coming your way. So just keep that head on the swivel. Wu-Tang says, protect your head.
Yeah.
I'm over here listening to OJ.
Yeah, I mean, something wrong.
Who's that?
TLC over there running around his house, and he the only one that live there.
He said, "Wait a minute, let me go outside. Let me go outside."
y'all know my takeaway, man. I do the same. I do a lot of the same takeaway for every podcast, because one of the things we're having a problem with is don't lose focus of yourself. If I'm meant to help you, you're going to come into my life as compatible. I shouldn't have to drag you to walk with me. The reason I overcome being stabbed in the back, if you're not walking with me, I keep walking. I don't stop to drag you, because that's the only way I can recognize who's with me. Do we walk together in agreement, or are we always fighting? Are we always fighting? Are we always disagreeing? Because if we operating toward the same system, there should be compatibility. The have-nots are always competing. The haves are always trying to find collaboration so you can exponentially grow. And man, y'all know what it is. It's the Smoke Something, Drink Something podcast. I'm the Real Cigar Jeff. Y'all do me a favor, look below in the description. Support the channel. Get the merch, man. And y'all can find me Instagram, Facebook. If you're on YouTube, make sure you smash that button to like the podcast. Hit that subscribe button. Turn on those notifications so you know when we drop another video. I got to thank my panel tonight. Big J the Barber. Let them know where they can find you at on Instagram again, brother.
Y'all know what it is, man. Big J the Barber, Instagram, BIGJAY, Y'all know what it is.
Appreciate it. TLC, tell them where they can find you at on Instagram.
As always, you can find me at TL Clayton, #1.
Man, and y'all got to make sure y'all go check out that brother's last stand-up comedy session, man. He doing his amateur night thing. We need more people to support him. He on his way to 100,000 people too. He's about as worse as me with living by faith on that. Rhonda, where can they find you on Instagram?
LMBT. No Bitcoin.
All right. No Bitcoin, no crypto. Man, and y'all know again, I'm the Real Cigar Jeff. I want to thank y'all for listening. I need y'all to share this with a family member, share this with a friend. Get rid of the people in your life who are holding you back. Stop enjoying being stabbed in the back, because that's what it's starting to come across like now. We enjoying being stabbed in the back. Y'all do me a favor. If you hadn't watched the other videos, go watch the other videos of our cigar reviews and our other podcasts. Go check out that last podcast. Is Deion Sanders the next MLK? I'm telling you, me and Big J talk about all the time. We wish that man would have been in Tampa. He is everywhere. And y'all listen, y'all go look at our last couple of cigar reviews, man. Y'all make sure y'all listen, support the channel, man. And we going to keep getting into this thing. Real people having real conversations. And until next time, we going to holler.